means something totally different. So, how in the world can you maintain a household when there's already a conflict that's brought into the church now? You know, now it kind of shows how the church is leaning. And you're like, wait, that should have been all last week that it was addressed and we've moved on. But to have to readdress it and then backtrack on that, I ain't feeling that at all. And so I'm praying, God, do you still want me at this church? Am I still going to grow? But I've made a commitment to a class, to a school of ministry, which is at the school. And maybe that was put in place to keep me there for a year, to, let things kind of, I don't know, peter out. I have no idea. So I'm just not going to be like, no, I'm getting out of this class, because I felt God was leading me in that direction anyway. So I'm going to do that. But at the same time, I'm not going to. I'm not gonna be a sheeple with this one. No, buddy, I can't go along with the crowd on this one. I'm gonna be just as nice and cordial, and I'll pray for every single one of them. But I just can't. I got my own moral standards. Or I try to maintain them. It just as everyone, most people, I guess. But what would you do about that? I mean, say like you got a family member in your own house. Maybe you and your old lady, your husband, your wife, whatever, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever. You know, whoever you're living with. That you have to interact with. You have to be in their personal space, and they're in your personal space. That type of situation. Kids, they'll be gone in a few years. Who cares? As long as they do the right thing. But if it's your family member and you gotta live with that person, man, that's tough. I can only imagine that's tough, bro. Wow. Because if you think that someone else's moral values have gone below you, is that good or bad? Can you live with that? A lot of people can live with a lot of things and then be like, you know what? Maybe I'll just jump on that side anyway. Who cares? To each his own, buddy. But man, that's a lot to think about. Just, just let me know what you think. I appreciate you. God bless you.